welcome to Behind the Lines. I'm Diane Dayton. Today we're going to talk to a woman who is changing the world for good, I think. And she is living her dreams beyond the borders. I'm so glad to have you here today. Kadijatu Grace, thank you for being here.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
You have a wonderful story, so let's get started. You're originally from Sierra Leone, right?
Yes.
So tell us.
I am originally from Sierra Leone, the only blessed country in the world that has all the resources that every human being needs to develop. The only country where you use air, land, and sea to get to. And so I am from that place. So if you've heard of the Blood Diamond with Idris Elba, that's home.
Okay. So what brought you here? How did all of this come about?
So about, I would say 20, 25 years ago, there was war. The war broke out, came into the city. Me being an only child to my mom, the rebels were actually abducting and raping girls. And my mom says, as she usually will call me, yours, my yours, it's not safe for you to be here. You have to go. And so she could not afford to pay for the both of us. And so she paid for just myself. Got on a boat, an asylum boat that came, a massive ship, to a neighboring country called Guinea. And so as we got there, it was so crowded. And so I could not even get through the boat by walking. They had to throw me over the boat. And so my mom tells, there was a stranger, she recognized that she knew, and tells him, please watch over my girl. When she gets to the shore, somebody will be there to pick her up. And as you know, Africa is one of those places where everybody's uncle, auntie, we trust everybody. And so the nightfall, and this man took me to where the engines of the ship are and had his way with me and threatened if I spoke that he will kill me, throw me over the boat and go back and kill my mother. And so I shot and built a wall, never spoke until 2018 when I had the opportunity given to me by my president, now president, and his wife, Madame Fatima Bio, gave me the platform to share and tell my story. And that it messed my childhood up. I became clinically depressed, tried to commit suicide twice. And just when I was in the nick of it, and then I heard this audible voice that I have given you a story, why don't you write about it? And I said, whoever you are, I don't like to write. I hate to write. And the voice came back audibly loud. I have given you a story. Why don't you write about it? And so at that time, I was working as a developmental disability specialist. And so when I'll go to work, when my clients go to their day program, I'll sit and just scribble things. It was all over the place. And so that's where I wrote my first book, Broken Chains. And then followed by She Arose, that will be launched on the 25th of October 2022. That's just a little bit of my story. But then one thing that really changed my life for good was when my daughter came. When she came, I was kicked out, homeless, stayed in the car for 3 weeks with her, and I promised her that our life will never be the same. That it will just get better, that I'll stretch myself so far, because I believe life is elastic. Every human being, we have to know this. It is up to you to stretch yourself how far you want to go. And so I started finding ways to first heal myself, because I have been broken. Imagine a child that was abandoned by her father, 10 months old, did not really have the opportunity to experience a father's love, raised by a single mom that also had to work 2-3 jobs to make sure that I went to the best of schools. So there was not really much of love. So I sorted for love in the wrong places with the wrong people. And when my daughter came, it became not about me anymore, because I was in I was in the cocoon of self-pity. Always feeling sorry for myself, always blaming other people for my mishaps. And it dawned on me that it's not about you anymore. Now you have a little human that's looking up to you. It's about time you wake up from this self-pity. So I started reading books, listening to the Miles Monroe's Lisa Nichols, and all that. And so I self-empowered myself, dusted myself up, went back to school, got a degree in psychology. Life became a little bit okay. There I thought, okay, the only way I could be complete is to be in a relationship, be married. Maybe I could just receive my father's love from there. But boy, oh boy, I was wrong. So it's like jumping from frying pan into fire.
Yes.
And I got in a relationship with somebody. I can't blame him because he was as lost as I was. Here you are, you have two lost people, no help, no one to kind of really direct them. And so he had this low self-esteem issues because his mom left him as well. And so he thinks every woman will leave him. And so I was one of those very creative. I'm into anything creative. Music, dancing, acting is me. The stage is home for me. And so every time I'll go out to do a backup singing and I come home, I'll be beaten, I'll be raped all over again. So it's like I'm reliving this terrific past of mine every time. And so I said, no, this is not happening to me anymore. And I said, no more. I'm done. So I went on my knees and I prayed. I said, God, if this is life, it's either you take my life already or you give me something that represents my story. And so I looked around, what can I do? Fell asleep. I fell asleep, saw myself making shoes. And so that's where Dijas Touch was birthed from. It came from a place of dissatisfaction. With this, I'm able to fly the flag of my country. With this, I'm able to support other people. With this, I'm able to tell my story because people are like, I want to know, where did you get this inspiration from? And so we get inspiration. I did not just see it in a dream and woke up, started making shoes. I had to self-teach myself. So every investment I had, I poured into making sure that I understand the dynamics of wearing shoes, not just fashionable shoes, but shoes providing comfort, culture, and elegance. And so that's what my brand represents, really. When every time I go to speak somewhere, every time I go to sell my shoes or any of my fashion stuff, I want a woman, a man, a child to feel like I have arrived, I am the boss, I can be any and everything that I choose to be. So that's my story.
Wow, that's empowering. Yeah. And you brought along some of the items that you make. And and as you were saying to me earlier, every fabric, everything has a story behind it.
Everything has a story. Like with this shoes right here, this is a tribe of hope. So the black dot you see is the community of people. And this big blue-ish thing you see right here is the leaders that sit and rule and govern us. And this yellow line you see here is the ray of hope. That we are looking up to you as our leader to give us a ray of hope. So that's the barrier between these two.
Wow.
And this right here is the life, it's creation, molecules. Like, let's say a man and a woman has a sexual intercourse. Of course, the sperm goes into the woman and tries to create another life. That's what these are. And so this right here is new birth. The yellow that you see is the new birth. And this right here, it talks about power, the power of staff that we carry. God has given us the mandate, which is our tongue. Whatever you speak, it will come to pass. You're sitting in that chair, you believe that this chair can carry me. So if we apply just that little bit of faith into every other thing that we do in life, life would be so much better for us than being distracted with every other thing that's going on.
Absolutely.
These are just scarves, fall scarves. Winter is upon us. This is staff, handing over a staff of authority. That's the hand that is handing over a staff of authority, because there's a chain of command in anything.
Right.
So you start from ground up. That's what this is. This right here is the goddess of fertility. That's what this fabric is about. The goddess of fertility carries, it does not only provide children, but also good fortune, good health. That's what this is about. this right here is mostly for men.
Okay.
The masculinity, the power that men carry.
Right.
That's what that is. So as I said, my brand, Dija, is called Light. Everything I do is for me to be able to shed light on every soul that I come across, because that is my purpose.
Wow.
My story is my story, but it's not my story, because now I get to use it to tell somebody, if I went through it and overcame, you can do the same.
Yeah. Now, to find these items, we can go to the website Dijas Touch.com.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really easy. We can do that. And I know you have some other things on that you've made, but we're going to take a brief pause, and when we come back, we're going to find out more about this amazing woman.
Lctv 66 is your community channel, and your donations keep us on the air and help to produce more local programs. Send your tax-deductible donation of $500, $100, or more to the address on the screen. Or think of it this way: for the price of a couple of movie tickets, you can help support your community channel. Send what you can and be a part of all that is good about Lancaster County. Thank you for your tax-deductible donation to Lctv 66, Lancaster's Connection.
Welcome back to Behind the Lines. We're talking with Khadijah Grace and Dija's Touch. We're talking about these fabulous shoes and other garments that you make. You even made what you have on.
Yes. This, in my country, we call them thunder. This is handmade by the locals, where they use different types of ink. This fabric was white, but they use different types of ink to create these thunderous designs. So I like anything that's edgy and chic. So, yeah.
So the design was yours and everything about this was great. And look at the fabulous bracelets you have on.
Yeah, these are, these are DIYs, do it yourself.
Ah, okay.
I cut out fabrics from different cloths and then just wrap them around an already plastic bracelet. So I just wanted to add a little bit of fall edginess to my look today.
It looks great. And of course, then you also do that on your ankles
yes,
too, right?
Yes, these are, those are ankle bracelets.
Okay, so you have so many facets of who you are, because through your whole life story, it has given you a story that you have used to give voice to things that are really important and to make change. You are a keynote speaker. Tell me about that.
So like I said earlier, growing up speaking, I was very bold and still is. And in the midst of crowd, I will just stand out. And when I speak, I had this gift where people will listen to me and they are gravitated towards me. So as I grew, it's something that I decided to nurture. First, I started emceeing at weddings, parties, different events, and people will come back, "Oh my God, you're fantastic." And before you know it, I started speaking in my church, the women, youth, training them, coaching them. And my passion now turned into a paid thing for me, where I do both internationally and nationally. I go out to speak, facilitate events and conferences, just like what I'll be having on the 25th.
Okay.
I also had the opportunity to speak at the United Nations on the topic of women being represented in office, and of course with being a survivor of rape.
Yeah. And you also recently came back from Sierra Leone. Tell me what happened at that particular time.
So every year, twice a year, I do travel home and any other place that I'm needed, not just home, because America I've lived for about 20, 25, 28 years. So it's home away from home. I created, the first time I landed after being away for so long was 2018. And when I got home, the first thing I experienced is there was a need for mindset change in my country. I mean, it's needed everywhere, but Sierra Leone really needs it at this time. And so I said, what a best way to do this? So I came up with an organization called Psychology of Winning, being that's what I did in school and that's my area. I said, I want to be able to inspire and impact young people as well as women, to be able to just express themselves, be themselves, and understand who they are, give themselves permission to be. So this year we did a back to school backpack drive where we had over 300 students that we adopted from one particular school, They had water bottles, backpacks, everything they needed for school. Because these kids, they want to grow, they want to learn, but they don't have the resources.
Right.
And so it's my way of meeting them halfway to say, hey, I see you, I hear you, I am not in your shoes, but I kind of understand. And so they were very excited. Their families were very excited as they received the gift. We do have pictures on the website. We also closed it off with a grand summit where we had over 500 people in attendance. As we reached out to the media, and we had private sectors, about 100 private sectors that said we wanted to be a part of this. And so they themselves sent their staff to come in and sit and listen. We talked about sailing into our own self, sailing into leadership, branding, and things of that nature. And it was a great success. So it's something that I want to also do here in my home in America.
Yeah. And there is a website that we can go to. What is that?
So it's psychologywins.com. For if you want to donate, if you want to be a part of the organization, you'll go there.
Okay. And the first book that you wrote, Broken Chains, that's available on Amazon.
It's available on Amazon.
Okay. And that basically
is how I fought my demons and how I overcame. So many a times we blame other people, but our stories is more of a refinement to the best version that we are to be. And so when you have, for example, you have family member that just gets on your nerve, it is not your place to start explaining to them. Those people are button pushers in your life, because they will do things to say, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm done. That pushes you to want to do something else. So when we are reacting to people and things and situations in life, let us look at it both ways. What am I learning from this? What have I gained from this? And use that to better your life. For me, I am grateful for every opportunity, every situation, everything that I have been through, because those things had made me who I am today. As you go to the jewelry store, like what I'm wearing, it's very beautiful, it has blings on it and all that. So, oh, I want that. It speaks to you. That is how us human beings are. Our stories is us going through the fire to become the best version of ourselves. And that's one thing that America as a whole is suffering from, where people are going through stuff, they don't know who to talk to. They don't know how to go about their stress. They don't know how to go about their depression. And so before you know it, they are killing themselves. One thing I can say to you, killing yourself is not the way. You can speak to somebody, or you can find lots of materials online. Or if you don't have any, reach out to me. I can help, because I went through it and I overcame. So that's what Broken Chains is about.
Yeah. Now the second book, She Arose.
Yes.
This is an empowering book, isn't it?
It is. It's an empowering book, motivation and transformational book. As I went through my own healing process, my own transformation and healing, I said to myself, this would be a best name to call it, because I arose from all of that self-hate, not loving myself, not giving myself permission to be. And I spoke extensively about procrastination being one of the key problems that we face in life. Self-procrastination, when, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll get there tomorrow, I'll make that call tomorrow. The more time waits for no man. Time is very precious. People say, time is money. Time is life. And so we have to be very intentional and present with our doings, with our decision makings and things of that nature.
Yeah. So now to get this book, we can go to another
website. Kadijatu.Ahene.com.
And we'll put that up on the screen as well, so we can check that out. You're talking about all of these transitions, and you have been through so many. And I know you have dreams and things that you want to pursue. Share some of those with us.
Well, coming to America, I wanted to be like the Mariah, the Michael Jacksons. As I said, music, acting is home for me. But unfortunately, it has not happened yet. I'm not giving up. I still take time to sing. I still take time to dance, to act when I can. But what I'm doing right now is I am in a very happy and satisfying place where I'm able to put a smile on somebody's face, where I'm able to give back to somebody and they say thank you, not always me saying thank you.
Yeah.
And I learn from these people. I have learned to be humble. I have learned to be very respectful of other people, their ways of thinking. My goal really is for me to be at that place where I guess I'm the next Martha Stewart, you say. She does a little bit of everything.
Right, there you go.
So I'm at that place where it gives me satisfaction really to see a woman not understand, a young woman evolving into a grown woman, not knowing themselves, but then getting to that place where I know myself now. I permit myself to be. I give myself the go-ahead to live my life fully, you know, and telling yourself that I am worthy. You need no one to tell you, because you are worthy.
Right.
You need no one to tell you that they love you. Tell yourself, hey, I love you.
Yeah.
Look in the mirror, I love you. The more you say it to yourself, it becomes a part of you. And so we have to learn to retrain our brains, our minds, from negative to positive.
Absolutely. So I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more of you in different capacities too. I know you even talked about wanting to do your own TV show.
Yes,
right?
yes, yes,
Yes.
I wanted to host my own TV show, Inspire Me Dija. So that will be, let's say, wake up tea time with Dija. Wake up every morning and you get few inspirational talks. But then always bring in different dynamics. Sometimes we'll make juice, healthy juice. Sometimes we'll make something else. We'll make a tired whilst we're talking. But then just bring creativeness and let people know that there's so many sides of us human beings that you can be. Just don't be afraid of getting there.
Absolutely. It has been a pleasure to talk to you today.
I'm so honored to be here.
And to introduce you to our audience as well. You do wonderful work. I'm still blown away that you made all of these in every way, shape, and form.
I'm hoping to get in my own factory someday where I can train other people.
There you go. There you go. See, and it goes on, and it
goes on and on.
And I think we're going to hear more about Kadijah Grace. Thank you for being
Thank
here.
you.
Much success. Thank you for joining us today, too. I'm Diane Dayton, reminding you to look behind the lines. You might be surprised what you find.